I am beyond excited to do a video today about the unboxing of my newest toy, the Mossberg 930 deer and field combo. I did a little bit of work on the side, I saved up some money, I sold a gun, and I finally had enough to buy this thing without my wife killing me. So, the reason I got this gun in particular is because I've always wanted a slug gun to go deer hunting with. You can actually deer hunt with a rifle in Missouri, but there's just something to be said about the knockdown power of a 12 gauge slug, and I've always wanted to have one. And as far as turkey hunting goes, a semi-automatic turkey gun is just a lot softer shooting and allows for a quicker follow-up shot with less movement, so I've always wanted one of those. So you can imagine how ecstatic I was when I was searching for and doing research for what gun to buy online, and I came across the Mossberg 930 deer and field combo. It actually gives you a 28-inch waterfowl barrel, which can also be used for turkey hunting, and you get a 24-inch fully rifled slug barrel. I cannot tell you how excited I am about that. So the 28-inch barrel, when it's on the gun, it makes it about 48 inches long, I've read. The 24-inch slug barrel makes the whole gun about 44 inches long, I've read. This particular gun is synthetic stock. I've seen pictures of them in camo, but when I was shopping for it, I could not find anything but black synthetic, which is fine by me. The whole gun is advertised to weigh about 7.5 pounds, and it's got a lot of cool features. So without keeping you guys waiting any longer, I'm going to open this thing up, and we're going to see what it looks like and what all it has in it. So I've also got a round of double-aught buck here, and once we get it out and get to playing with it, there's a couple of features that I'm going to need this for to play with. Alright. This gun actually comes, unlike most shotguns I've seen, fully assembled. I'm guessing so that the barrels don't cling together during shipping, because it does have two barrels. It's got plastic over everything. We're just going to lift it up and get that out of here. How sweet looking is that? So it looks like the slug barrel's held on by a little separator so they don't cling together, so I'm going to remove that real quick and we'll get a better look at this thing. It's got a little plug. We're going to take that out, make sure there's no rounds in here. Shouldn't be, but never hurts to check. Man, that actually feels smooth. Make sure the safety's on. And that is the waterfowl barrel that's on right now. It's got a red fiber optic sight on the front. I really like that. No sight on the back on the waterfowl barrel. It's got a little Mossberg yellow tab on the front, and that is pretty much it. It's got built-in places for your sling right here and here, and yeah. So one of the coolest things about this gun is that you can see I racked it earlier. There is a little metal pin inside the trigger guard. I'll do a close-up on that here in a minute. But when you see that little metal pin in the trigger guard, it means the gun has been racked. Doesn't necessarily mean that there's a round in it, because there isn't right now, but you can tell if you've racked it back or not, and then when you fire it, that little pin goes back up in there, which is kind of neat. The other super cool thing about this gun is that supposedly when you put a shell into it, you're supposed to be able to push this in and hit this little button right here, and the shell comes back out. So the only round that you have to rack out to unload this thing, unlike other shotguns, is the round that's in the chamber. Before you do that, you can push up on this little tab right here and hit this button right here, and your round comes out. How neat is that? Now this is an awesome looking gun. It's not really heavy. It's advertised at about 7.5 pounds, but honestly it's light. You could carry this thing for a ways. I mean, if you're someone who runs and guns a lot like me when they're turkey hunting, this gun is not going to weigh you down. and its shoulder's awesome. That fiber optic sight is really visible. That's going to be awesome. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to see how long it takes me to switch these barrels out. I'm going to put the slug barrel on so we can see what that looks like. The slug barrel, I can see the rifling in there. It does have a fiber optic sight on the front. It looks to be white, and then it's got just your standard V sight in the back. The receiver on this actually is drilled and tapped, so you can put a scope on it. The barrels are not, so your scope would have to go on the receiver. I believe that when I set this thing up, I'm going to put a rail on it. That way I can switch between a turkey and a slug scope. Back together so I don't lose anything. Before we jump into switching the slug barrel on there, I'm going to sift through this box and see what else it comes with. It looks like you get an owner's manual. A cleaning and maintenance video comes with it. That's awesome. You get a lock, or a Mossberg lock. You get an invitation to join Ducks Unlimited. You get 2 different chokes and a choke key. And you get these shims. Now these shims I've seen in other videos, they go between the receiver and the stock, and they actually raise and lower the stock to your shoulder. Now, when I put this one to my shoulder, it feels really nice. It's almost perfect, so I'm not going to mess with that, I don't think. Because if I put it lower, it would be hard for me to get to the sight, and if I put it a little bit higher, I think it's probably perfect the way it is for me anyways. But if you ever shoulder one of these and it's hard to get on the bead, they do come with shims, and you can make the angle of the stock go farther down or raise up, I assume. Alright, let's get this slug barrel on here and see what that looks like. I've never actually done this before, so I'm just going to take a guess as to how it's done and hope I'm right. Wasn't as smooth as I would have liked it to be, but it's on there. And just like that, now we are slug hunting. That didn't take any time at all. You could deer hunt with this thing as is. The iron sights on it are actually pretty good. Now, I am not the best shot, and I don't have the best eyes for detail, so I'm definitely going to put a scope on this thing, which you can do. Like I said, the receiver's drilled and tapped. But yeah, this is it's a sweet gun. The action, and I still need to take this whole thing apart and oil it down. There's a little bit of oil on it out of the box, but I definitely think I need to oil it down really good before I take it out and shoot it. But the action on here does feel super smooth already. And I think this is just going to turn out to be a phenomenal gun. So if you guys are looking for a gun that a shotgun that you can deer hunt and hunt turkeys with, this is a pretty hard one to beat. It's a semi-auto. It can hold up to a 3-inch shell, which is plenty for turkey hunting. I'm telling you, if you put a Jeb's choke on that and you run federal TSS rounds, even with a 3-inch shell, you're going to knock birds down at 60 yards if you have to, 70 even maybe. I don't prefer to shoot them at that range, but I patterned enough guns with a Jeb's choke in those rounds to know that you for sure can. So this is a pretty hard gun to beat for the value. If you guys are interested to see how this thing patterns, here in the near future I'm going to do a video where I try some of the chokes out that came with the gun, and then I've also got a Jeb's choke on the way for this gun, the Jeb's Headhunter choke, and we're going to do some patterning videos, and then closer to fall we're going to slap this slug barrel on and we are going to do some sighting in with it. So if you're anxious to see how it performs at the range, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and you hit the little bell for notifications, so that way when those videos go live of me patterning this barrel for turkeys and this barrel for deer, you get to see those. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.